official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Half the day, good evening, good morning to wherever or whatever time it is where you are. Welcome to INCRadio Micronesia. I'm Sister Marisol Sorio, your host for today, or one of your lovely hosts for today, coming to you from the local congregation of Afra Heights here on the beautiful island of Guam. I am not alone today in hosting tonight's show. I am joined by my wonderful brethren, Sister Arlene.
Hi, Sister Marisol, and also Happy New Year. Just wanted to mention to you, if I have not, but I know we were actually together during our countdown for Micronesias, right? So
Lots of fun.
Yes, that's lots of fun. Yes, absolutely. I want to go ahead and also mention to everybody tuning into INC Radio Micronesia, Happy New Year as well. And for us here in the broadcast, I am Sister Arlene Malikton from the local congregation of Guam. I am your host and producer this evening. Super excited, Sister Marisol, because we also are joined with our DMM director here in the District of Micronesia, Brother Michael.
Hello again to everyone. My name is Brother Michael, like what Arlene said, District of Micronesia, locale of Guam, and excited again for tonight's broadcast.
Awesome. So here we have our wonderful trio again joining us, not only for the last show of Coming from Micronesia in 2024, but our first show here in Micronesia in the year of 2025. So with that, today we are going to be talking about looking ahead into this year of 2025. What better way to start off the year than to talk about what we have planned for the year? You know, whenever it's New Year, a lot of us start thinking about goals and things that we want to do in this new year to come. So I know after our New Year celebration last week, or earlier in the week, I should say, the three of us got to talking about some of our goals that we have for this year. I know myself, two of them are to one, get better grades in school. I got 1B last semester and I want to turn it into an A, you know? And two is to also travel more, so be able to see the other islands in our district. I think that would be a really great goal to set. And of course, that comes with a lot of tasks as well. What about you, Sister Arlene?
Well, for me, Sister Marisol, I just want to also mention a goal that I had last year was to really starting to take care of my health, right? And that is something that I'm actually very getting to be comfortable in, and that's more transiting transiting into this year. So I want to really take care of my health. One of the biggest things, as you already know, is like drinking unsweetened tea, minimizing that sugar, right? Because I always want to be able to be more not reliable on sugar intake, and I'm actually seeking and reaping the benefits of it already. So it's a good thing. I feel more energetic, right? And because of you as well, your influence, sister Marisol, with the tea, I got to learn different kind of teas, and I'm really trying to be able to just put good things into my body, not the bad stuff anymore, right? Or the lazy things, right? Like junk food or anything like that. But another personal goal, Sister Marisol, is really to further my knowledge to do much better, as in like trying to find a niche or a way where I could probably get another source of income. I want to be able to do that. Um, just like on the side, nothing big, nothing too hard, just something like, this is something I want to do, just for the fun of it, but also being able to get something out of it. And we talked about that, right? Talked about a little bit like just helping Brother Randy, Kuya Randy, my husband, on the side when it comes to his photography business. So that's something I'm really excited
Such a
about.
wonderful team.
Yeah, right. It's such a wonderful thing to do, and he's always there to catch me, and he's always there to like help me, and that's one thing I want to be able to focus on is that having another source of income, and having fun with it as well, and that's
Mhm.
something I want to be doing more this year, and it's I really enjoy it with the husband. So, brother Annie out there, if you're listening, yes.
Oh, I love those goals. I love how your goals encompass we have similarities in goals in that our goals encompass other tasks, not just it's not just one thing. There's a lot of things that we can work on that lead to that overarching goal. And one of the other benefits too is that we get to improve connections with other people, like what you mentioned. Like, we've really been bonding over our tea and like the new teas that we find and get to enjoy. And so that's really cool, and that's one of the benefits of setting these goals. Like, Brother Mike, what are some of the goals that you have for this year?
There's most likely going to be plenty, but I know it's going to take one by one, right? Or I'm not going to like rush in
True.
and try to get
True.
every single thing in check, right? So um, basically, every single thing that I've learned that's important to me, I try to level up like a notch more. And if I do feel like that I've leveled up in some areas, and then I just take two more steps to it, three more. Eventually, it builds throughout the year and
Mhm.
throughout the years as well. Um, I know the last time when we were live on broadcast this week, I did mention about learning a new language, right? So
Yeah.
uh, for me, I'm taking it a day at a time, just absorbing just little by little, right? And then voicing out some words that I've never knew how to pronounce or say before. So it's a really good feeling, and it just keeps me in check and keeps me a little bit more busy um, throughout the days, right?
I totally agree. So, with all of these goals, I'm wondering what our guests have in mind as well. So, in our YouTube chat plug, we'd love to hear about your goals that you have for this year. What goal do you hope to achieve this year? And this time, unlike Tuesday, you can tell us in words. You don't have to use emojis. And we'll definitely try to shout them out on air as a form of us giving our support to your goals. So, with the goals that you've heard us mention for this year, we kind of want to go a little bit deeper into the topic. How can goal setting be a tool for personal growth and development? Anybody have any outward thoughts on this one?
Well, Brother Michael said about, reaping the benefits, knowing a different language. I think that's really good to do, Brother Michael. So keep it up because, it does have benefits when you're going to travel. And I hope you do
Yeah.
travel with us soon, right? When you get to
Mhm.
travel, we get to talk to uh, people that we don't know. You never know who you're going to meet. And I think
Yeah.
that's the mystery behind learning something new. It's like who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna bond with, who you're gonna network with, right? And that's something that will open your eyes and broaden your horizon and your knowledge of many things. You know, um, I always say this on air because Sister Marisol, it's such a blessing in this district.
Oh
I
no.
honestly want to say that because
Thank
you're
you,
like a
Audrey.
fresh new look to like us here, and Brother Michael can attest to it too. We always enjoy your presence because you
Oh,
always are like a just something so um new and fresh, and you always have new ideas, and I love it.
Yeah,
And
sometimes you're unpredictable. That's why. So
oh,
if you,
that
we bring
too.
up
We just
something, and then
yes,
like you bring up something that we haven't heard it before, which is quite nice.
okay. Hopefully it stays that way.
yes. So I
Thank
feel like
you guys.
of course you're welcome. So yeah, I feel like when we come to the conclusion of what why it's good and what the benefits are. It's just really it's to further your horizon and stuff. Not staying
Yeah.
within your box of your own knowledge, but to expand more. And you just don't know what those little doors will open for you. And that is something we all need to be learning to do, because we cannot just stay within ourselves. We need to be able to grow and flourish.
I 100% agree. I had a friend who told me years back, I think we had all just graduated from college, and they said, we were all separating ways. We had all grown up together in, the same district over the years, and everyone was graduating college and kind of moving to different places, hitting different milestones, right? And of course, it was bittersweet because we had all known each other all these years, but one of our friends said, God brings people into your life to help you grow in ways that you couldn't grow on your own, right? And so I think it's so interesting that you bring up that point about how setting these goals helps us meet new people, and you never know the doors that those are going to open. And like, maybe setting these goals are kind of a way for God to like help us grow in those ways that he wants us to grow, right? So that's pretty cool. And also, even introspectively, right? Like what Brother Mike mentioned earlier about, pushing yourself, even if it's just improving a little bit in what you already knew last year. So getting to know ourselves better too with these goals, like with health, right? We can learn that we're stronger than we thought we were. So
I agree. Yes. And knowing that with being stronger, I'm also doing a work challenge too, Sister Marisol, where I'm like competing with other employees within the organization that I work with, and these things kind of like not for kind of forces you kind of to be more competitive and to just keep your health there. And those are the little small short term goals that can be beneficial in the long run, right?
yeah, for sure. And I think that that's a perfect segue to sort of like the next dimension that we want to talk about, goal setting with the new year. Sometimes people can be a little bit hard on themselves on whether or not they, you make a vision board, right? Or something like that. You make a list of goals, and sometimes it takes a long time to be able to meet that overarching goal. But there are these small achievements, like we mentioned earlier, smaller tasks that lead up to that overarching goal. Is it important to celebrate those smaller tasks as we get them done throughout the year in the whole broad process of setting goals?
Definitely. I think we should definitely celebrate those achievements. Sometimes I just reward myself with a little piece of chocolate. You know, those are little small
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And
I do the
if it's
same
the
thing.
big one,
I
I
do the
say
same thing.
eat cake.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. And for me, I'm still exploring the island of Guam. And so sometimes when I want to celebrate a little thing, my husband and I, Brother Neil, who you all got to meet on the show last month, right? So we have a list of like places we want to try, places like restaurants we want to go to. And so if we're celebrating something like a small win, right? Maybe like an exam or something like that, we'll be like, okay, we'll go to this place at the end of the week.
You got
Oh,
plenty of
that's so
time.
good.
Small island, you'll probably get around to most of it.
There's lots to cry, Sister Marisol. So keep
Yes.
hitting those goals and share us the list so we can actually join you
Yes,
in
sounds good.
celebrating.
And then maybe you guys can add some more places too.
Agree. And we definitely need to take you more around the island to see what Guam has to offer as well.
I am totally down. So, what are some other? So, I know we mentioned like our favorite snacks or a little treat of a chocolate, going out to eat. I think also another way that maybe a little bit underrated as far as a way to celebrate is to talk about it. I'm not saying you have to be in Tagalog mayabang or you in English have to show it off, but talking about your smaller achievements and telling the people around you, what you've been up to, especially the people that truly care about you, they'll celebrate with you, you know?
I agree, Sister Marisol. You know, ever since I did tell my parents like we're only drinking like unsweetened tea, we got them into like drinking unsweetened tea, and they love it too. So it's
Nice.
you're right about sharing those achievements and also letting your family know what you're trying to do. It will help out. You know, we're into this whole barley tea, my family, and so whenever I would have dinner, right, with my
Mhm.
parents at their house or lunch, mom and dad always has my barley tea. So we drink
Oh,
it. So it's good sharing
and
those.
it's bonding.
Yes, and it's bonding, and they love it too. So they're really into that now.
That's awesome. I love that. And I think I can totally relate to that too cuz my love for tea, that was one thing that I got to really bond over with my mom too, especially when we were living far apart. So at one point we were living like 4 states apart. And every time I would visit home, I would bring new teas that I found for her to try. So small things like that.
True. It's in a way it's contagious. And if it's contagious, right, once you like share your achievements, you have um you have some of them like thinking like, oh, maybe I should do that. And then eventually they're like inspired, and then the adrenaline comes, and then they actually do it. So uh, celebrating it is also a kind of way of uh, really putting it out there for other people too, because at one point they'll also be motivated and inspired.
I agree. I agree. I've had friends. I recently started my fitness journey. I've never been a big gym person, but my other half is, and so our friends are very excited that he's been teaching me how to work out and use different things in the gym, right? Because usually I used to just go for a run. That's all I would do. That, and then maybe Zumba or something like that. But now that I'm actually going into like weight exercises, my friends are saying you should post the pictures, post the pictures. I'm like, I don't know. But some people say, it actually helps keep them accountable in their fitness journeys too. To some people may think it's vain, but other people actually really get a lot out of it because it helps keep them accountable in their journey and they get to look back at those pictures and see their progress, which, you never know. It just depends on how you use it, right? And I'm sure they've made friends that way too. Before we end this discussion, we want to hit one more side to this whole topic of goal setting for this year. So, in goal setting, you self reflect a lot. You self reflect about what you've achieved, how you've grown in the past year, and what it is that you want to improve in yourself in this year to come. So, what are the strengths that you discovered last year, and how do you plan to build on them in the goals ahead? We can start with Brother Mike this time.
Okay. Last year, if I think of it, it's more on, I don't really have a specific example, but I would say it's more on just on control and discipline. Or maybe I can share one like tea, right? You guys were talking about tea. I'm not a tea person. I've
It's
never
like our
been a
side
tea
topic of
person.
the day.
I know. And
Very
it's
much. He's
I
not.
stayed away from tea because like it gets me nauseous most of the time. Like even
Oh
just
no.
like the the aroma of it, or somehow like my tummy doesn't like get along with it. But then um when I tried the barley tea that you made, right? It was like it didn't my body didn't react like how it used to before. So I was like, okay, this is a new shift for me. Maybe I'll try drinking like other teas. And which I did, right? And it kind of helped me with like a new diet that I was like setting for myself, just like eating poultry, eating chicken, right? And like I try my best to stay away from the junkies. So I'm still
Nice.
trying. So it's a long way. I know it's a long way to go, but just starting with the baby steps right now.
For sure. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad that you like tea.
I told you, Sister Marisol, you just like
It's not all the teas yet. It's not all the teas yet, but then there's just a
That's okay. There's lots to explore in the world of tea.
exactly. There is. There's also another place that you have mentioned to me before off air, but I'm gonna go there as well. But Sister Marisol, when it comes to strength from last year, um, in financial terms, right? Kuya Rani and I, my husband, right? He we set a budget last year to always, if we're gonna eat out, we're gonna try to stay within the budget of like say 35-40 bucks. And then and
For
we
some
done
people,
and
that's
we've done
impressive.
really good. That's possible, yeah. It's
Yeah.
very possible. And then we also really try to, for me, because I work in an office, um try to bring your own lunch. If we're talking about food, right? Bring your own lunch and make sure that we just save. So the $40 or our budget, I always look forward to that. So I feel that we've gained that strength and that discipline, with my husband and I, that make setting that goal if we're gonna be eating out at the max 40. But of course, if it's if it's a bigger event of something to more celebrate, or something that we want are craving for, and we know it's going to be over 40, then we compensate within the week. Yeah.
Hmm. That's so wise. I think that's like a great way to approach celebrating, but still not breaking the bank at the same time. That's really cool. I'm keeping that one in mind. Thank you for sharing. Alrighty, so I hope that this discussion about all of our goals for this year from the INC radio team of Micronesia helps encourage everybody with their goals. So, with that being said, we do want to read out some of our comments for today. We want to start with our district staff who have been able to join today. Our district minister, Brother Joven Sapilia Jr., he says, "Hello po, all the ministers, ministerial workers, to all the officers and the brethren here in the District of Micronesia." Brother Julius Malabanan says, Happy viewing po. Greetings to Kajovan and family po. Enjoy this show and God bless always. Brother Roger Manzanilla Jr. says, Happy 2025 po everyone. Greetings to Kajovan Sapilio Jr., our district minister, and to Ka Julius Malabanan, our assistant district minister. Shout out to Ella, Sandy, and Joel. I love you, fam. Hashtag Guam. Aw. And then we also have Karonic Lazardo saying, hello po Ka Julius, and our District Media Advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr. says, good evening po, Micronesia. We also have Brother Mark Kalensha greeting us, as well as the other ministers in the chat representing Jigo Kuror and the Buklod. We have the Hernandez family from Upper Heights saying good evening to everyone as well. All of our brethren in Garapan, Sister Michelle, Brother J.M. Caras. We have Ligaya Garcia from Guam. We have our very own Brother Sean. Hi, Brother Sean. From Coblerville, we have Sister Krisha. Hi, Sister Krisha. And then from Machanao, we have Sister Randy and her family, Sister Irene and Tristan. And then we also have from Saipan, we have Sister Jade Pasha and Brother Matt. Hello. And then we also have from Jigo. Casey Balaktas, Jamakama, Dylan Balaktas, Argel Gutierrez, Riza Sabino, Gary Odon, Richan Gail Sabino, and Cheryl Liano, as well as Sister Eileen Kralensha. So all of those people joining us in the chats, thank you so much for tuning in today. So of course, with our comments, we also want to recognize the people who hashtagged and supported us the most last week. So for that, we're going to go to Ata Arlene.
Yes, Sister Marisol, we're so excited. We don't actually have the material for it, but I'm going to announce it because I was just tallying it. It is to the local congregation of hashtag winner is Garapan. So thank you, Garapan. And of course, usually the ones that have most hashtag, it kind of ties in to a brother or a sister from that local congregation.
This
And
is
I'm
true.
going to say it is I'm gonna say first, the most, and then the most supportive, and then the second, because this is a team, and I'm so surprised. The most supportive person from last week's broadcast was our very own DMA advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr. And then coming close
Yay!
to him was his wife. So we want to
Oh, what
go
a
ahead.
team!
Probably challenged themselves at the.
I think so. For sure, they're so supportive. So I want to go ahead and shout out Sister Erin Villegas. Thank you so much. She has made so much comments, and I saw that she was pretty close to her husband, brother RJ. So thank you
Mm.
so much for always supporting us here on INCRadio Micronesia.
Yay! Thank you so much, Paul, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Please never stop joining us in the chat. It's one of our favorite ways to interact with all of our viewers and listeners. So for next week, make sure we tune in for next week's broadcast. As always, it's Saturdays at 10 p.m. Chamorro Standard Time. And that brings us to the bottom of the hour, one of the fastest 30-minute shows on this side of the globe. First off, we do want to thank our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our Subsea CEO and President, Brother Angelo Aranyo Manalo. And then also here on the home front here in Micronesia, we'd like to thank our District Minister, Brother Joven Sapilio Jr., our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and our CFO District Advisor, Brother Roger Manzanilla Jr., and our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr. And for our crew members, we're going to toss over to Sister Arlene.
And absolutely to my team members here in INC Radio Micronesia. First, starting with the Saipan crew, Sister Gwen, Sister Bam, Sister Jillian, Brother RY, and Brother Matt. Thank you so much for always helping us here. And to our Guam team, want to mention Sister Ann, Sister Faye. I know they're on vacation. Hopefully, I can see their comment on the YouTube chat. And of course, Sister Randy, Brother Sean, Brother Michael, of course, and of course, my husband, Brother Randy, for always being helpful here in our satellite studio. Want to also mention and give a shout out and Happy New Year to our station manager, Brother Wally Tarai. Hello po. And to our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya. Back to you, Sister Marisol.
Man, time flies really when you're having fun. And I can't believe our first show of the year is already over. So make sure that we tune in for the next satellite studio. Don't leave, because up next is the first show of the year for the Florida satellite studio on the other side of the world. And with that, that brings us to the end of our first show here in Micronesia. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye, and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year again. To Sister Quinzel. Sorry to see you in Guam.
Happy goal setting, everyone!
Yes, goal setting.